Good evening, humans. Tyrannosaurusmoth here, and tonight we're taking a look at the Marvel Legends Wolverine 50th Anniversary Patch and Joe Fixit 2-pack from Hasbro. Let's do this. Aesthetically speaking, this set looks classy as hell, as it should. Not only that, but a very highly effective use of colored plastic as opposed to paint, and we'll get into that. And we'll start off with Joe Fixit here. Just first off, stature. I mean, Marvel Legends have been killing it with the bulkier characters, especially Hulks, and this is no exception. But in terms of the colored plastic, we just get, some white plastic for the jacket, for the shirt, some kind of very dark blue. I don't know if it counts as navy. It almost looks black from a distance, but probably technically navy. And then we get the glossy black shoes with some absolutely fantastic details, like loads of sculpt, just looks like nice, classy dress shoes. And again, just all colored plastic, no real paint. There might be some slight wash going on in the pants, but not that I can really tell. Then we get to the head, and fantastic sculpt, really, kind of evokes that art. And then this is where really a lot of the paint comes in, because we get the eyes, we get some darker spots on the face that kind of bring out the expression. Then we get a nice kind of touch, a little bit of touch of blue there in the hair, kind of give it a little more character, a little more depth. Then we get to the hands, and we do have, again, a few touches. No, actually, never mind. I'm sorry. That's the lighting. That's just gray plastic, and it works really well because that sculpt actually kind of directs the light as it should. So yeah, it's really impressive all around. Fantastic sculpt, and yeah. Then we get to patch, and obviously it's Wolverine, just in a really classy suit. Same thing, colored plastic, just white for the top, the navy. We get the shoes, this time not glossy, but we still get some nice details there, this time with laces. And yeah, really nice going on there, especially the sculpt in the pants here. Just got some nice kind of weight to them, as they should have. And then of course we get the face sculpt, and this is nice and super clean, especially the paint. Just everything looks super, super crisp. Really love the way that the top of his hair just like perfectly kind of curves in with those points. Really nice work. And yeah, overall really cool figure. Not only that, like next to each other, ooh, pardon me, they look right. I mean, yeah, Wolverine could probably be slightly smaller, but yeah, I think it works. Not too much to speak of when it comes to accessories, but what we have here does work. So starting off with patch, we do have the clawed hands, and I really like these claw sculpts. These are kind of in between those really chunky ones that I absolutely love and the older ones that were just flimsy. Kind of the perfect weight, I think. So very, very nice. And probably, amongst my favorites. Again, I really like the chunky ones that came on the X-Force Wolverine, but these are very, very close second for me. Then we just get a pair of fists. And then we get two different head sculpts for patch as well. So we get the stoic, or I guess not really stoic, kind of scowling neutral head. Again, very crisp paint and sculpt going on there. Then we get a second one. I almost like this one even more, that smirk. Just perfectly captured, loads of personality, and just a slight change. Just beautiful work. Then we get to Joe Fixit. For his hands, out of the box, we get a couple of fists. Then we get a left grasping hand, very similar to pretty much all the Hulks we've seen so far. Then we get a right trigger finger hand, even though we do not get any weapons with this set, but obviously you can add your own. There's a large hand as well, so I guess if you have the other Joe Fixit, I think that one came with a Tommy gun, I'm not sure. And we get two different head sculpts as well. So again, here we get our neutral, kind of more of a true neutral, definitely kind of frowny, but that's the way the character looks. And then we get the angry face, and again, really nice deep sculpt brought out with that paint. Just really nice touches and bright white teeth going on there. You can see the tongue is painted as well. Looks to be a separate piece, as you can see here from the back. So, really cool touch. And yeah, that will do it for accessories. When it comes to articulation and balance, not the craziest amount of options, but there is some mobility here, and surprisingly, Joe Fixit actually has a few more points of articulation. I was not expecting that, but we do get freestanding kicks out of patch, and you know, I did get a freestanding kick out of Joe Fixit, but that wasn't for long. So there is that. But we'll start with Patch because he's right here. And the head, I was a little worried at first because I realized this is not a ball hinge. This is the new barbell joint that Marvel Legends has been using, and Marvel in general I don't think has used it very well, but that is very different here because we get a whole ton of up, fantastic amount of room under that head sculpt, all the down, tons of tilt and rotation, so fantastic work there. They're finally kind of getting that, which is nice to see. Hinge and swivel at the shoulders coming up into a perfect T, bicep swivel, double jointed elbows folding that far, hinge and swivel at the wrists, all horizontal. And then the torso, where you can see we do have a bicep cut. I think it's a standard like crunch, but it looks like you can see that tab right there. The jacket is actually tabbed into the top of the hips. So there's no rotation here whatsoever, which is really weird. I don't know why they did that piece, probably to kind of keep the jacket laying properly. So unfortunately, you're not going to get anything side to side. Even the crunch like doesn't activate because of the heft of the jacket. So torso is pretty much nothing. Then we get to the hips and some decent range with the legs though. So almost full splits, kind of nice. Not full 90 with the front, but definitely respectable. We do get thigh swivel, double jointed knees coming all the way in half. Then we get rotation at the ankles, getting about that much point, much more forward, and then a little bit of rocker. So despite what we're working against, actually not too bad. And especially, I mean, they're suited characters. I wasn't expecting much, so definitely can still have fun with it. Then Joe Fixit. There we go. So we also get a dumbbell joint up in here. And again, pop the head off there. Getting about that far up, so not bad at all. Some really nice down, tilt side to side. We get rotation. Again, hinge and swivel at the arms. Not quite hitting 90, but we do get to about there. No bicep swivel, but we do have single jointed elbows, which bring us a little bit short of 90, but we do get rotation. Then we get hinge and swivel at the wrists. And we do get a little bit of an ab crunch, and it activates a tiny bit. Goes back a little bit. And then we get some rotation there as well. So again, more mobility than we saw with Patch, which is interesting. Coming out with hips, well, these pop off super easy. It could be that it's like 90 degrees where I live now. It's probably only about 75 at the moment outside. But so that's about as far out as you're gonna get. Dang, pardon me. Yeah, these are popping off like crazy today. Going out front about that far, thigh rotation, obviously. Single jointed knees bring us to there with also some rotation. Then for the feet, kind of forward about that far, our back about that far, forward about that far, and then we definitely get some rocker. So that will do it for articulation. Getting into size comparisons, here they are with some other Marvel Legends. With some domestics. With some imports. With some monsters. Finally with articulated icons, Oni and yours truly in human form as a Valverse Action Force figure. So my final thoughts on the Marvel Legends Wolverine 50th Anniversary Patch and Joe Fixit set from Hasbro is that this is a really, really fun set. I don't even have any particular attachment to these versions of the characters, but as soon as I saw it announced, I was like, all right, I gotta check that out. And I'm very glad I did, despite the limited articulation, I wouldn't say lack of accessories, just kind of minimal accessories. Still very, very fun. It does what it needs to do. And I think for people who are fans, and what I've gathered from people who are fans of these versions of these characters, is that this delivers on what it needs to. And I would agree even as an outsider. So that's really cool. Obviously, I recommend it. If you're collecting Marvel Legends, if you're a fan of Wolverine, Hulk, etc., just this ridiculousness, then yeah, absolutely go for it. It's available from various online resources, so I'll have a link or two in the description below for you to check out. So that being said, I hope you found this review informative and somewhat entertaining, and if you did, hope to see you back because I do multiple reviews a week of action figures related to tokusatsu, dinosaurs, monsters, pro wrestling, and more. So if any of that appeals to you, come on back. Let's talk some more nice plastic, some toys, and just escape the world for a while. But at the end of the day, really, I just hope that you are well. I hope that all of your toy dreams come true, and most importantly, I hope that you and yours stay weird, simians.